Breaking news. The Pilipinas Super League, or PSL, suspends and fines Harms Hui for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Wow, talk about a plot twist. How do I put this? Well, he's definitely the most talked about player.
Definitely a headline grabber.
But just as we were about to hit record,
Yeah, this changes things for sure.
it's like a soap opera. The guy barely steps onto the court, creates this massive buzz, love him or hate him, and boom, the story takes a sharp left.
A hard left.
So for those who haven't heard, the PSL, that's the Pilipinas Super League, just announced a suspension for Harms Hui. That doesn't sound like a slap on the wrist.
No, it's not. We're talking about a violation of the league's code of conduct.
And this suspension throws a wrench into everything, right? I mean, we were going to analyze his game, talk about his impact. Now, well, what happens to Mr. Longball?
That's the question, isn't it? Well, social media is blowing up. You got some folks, they're saying, see, told you so. Others, they're like, wait, what happened? Give the guy a break.
It's a mixed bag for sure.
It's wild, right? You have a player who generates so much attention, even before he really proves himself.
This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about accountability, the pressure of fame, character. It's a real-life story unfolding.
Listen to the crowd. Harms Hui will see action for the first time here in the game.
It's funny. Before all this went down, we were talking about how Harms Hui was, they love the long bombs, they love the confidence, the whole swagger thing.
Right, the Mr. Long Bomb persona, they ate it up.
Exactly. And then you had, I guess...
Because it wasn't just about his game on the court, it was his personality, his social media, the whole package.
Oh yeah, he was playing the game off the court too.
Absolutely, building a brand, almost like an entertainer. And that's something we're seeing more and more.
So this suspension, does it change anything? Does it, prove the haters right? Or do his fans just double down?
It's hard to say.
Well, they can have consequences.
Exactly. And this suspension, it's a reminder of that. It also makes you think about, the role of the league, the teams. Are they doing enough to, mentor these guys, teach them about responsibility, about sportsmanship?
Especially with guys like Harms Hui, who are so good at building their own brand, their own image.
Right, they're pushing the boundaries. And sometimes those boundaries, well, they get crossed.
Gusto ko lang po humingi ng paumanin sa naunang video po na nilabas. At hindi naman po talaga video, pero yung post po na hinahamon ko po si Commissioner Jerry Esplana, hindi po talaga tama yun. Mali po talaga. And nakausap ko na po si Jerry Esplana, so humingi po ako ng sorry sa kanya, and hopefully po, sana po magtuloy-tuloy po tayo.
This whole thing feels like a wake-up call, It's like talent is great, but character matters too.
It does. Integrity matters. And the choices you make, well, they can have a big impact.
This is a big moment, not just for Harms Hui, but for the PSL, maybe even for Philippine basketball as a whole. What happens next? It's going to have a ripple effect. I'm seeing comments from fans, analysts, even some old school players weighing in.
Everyone's got a hot take.
And there's no middle ground, is there? You either want the guy, banished from the league, or you're saying he deserves a second chance.
Well, first you have the basketball purists.
Oh, yeah.
The ones who believe that the game should be all about fundamentals teamwork, respecting the traditions,
Right. They think it should be pure.
Pure, exactly. And for them, Harms represents everything that's wrong with modern basketball.
Oh, no.
They see his flashy style, his low shooting percentage, his focus on self-promotion as a slap in the face to the values they hold dear.
So they see him as a threat to the integrity of the game.
I think so.
He's diluting the purity of the sport with all his antics and his online shenanigans.
That's one way to look at it, and their concerns aren't entirely unfounded.
Right, but then you've got the younger fans.
Yes.
The ones who are all about the highlights and the trash talk and the larger-than-life personality.
Yeah, they love that stuff, and for them, Harms is a breath of fresh air. Harms does challenge some of the fundamental values of the game, but he also brings a new level of energy and excitement that can't be denied. You can't underestimate the role of envy in all of this.
Sure.
Here's this guy who, despite not having, a textbook perfect game, is getting more attention than some of the more established, more accomplished players in the league.
I mean, can you imagine being a veteran player? You've been putting in the work for years, honing your skills.
Right.
And then this guy comes along, chucking up half-court shots,
Yeah.
building a huge online following, and suddenly everyone's talking about him.
Right. It's got to sting a little bit, right?
A bit, yeah.
And that resentment can manifest in different ways, you know. Some players might criticize his game publicly, others might try to shut him down on the court, and some might just quietly seethe with envy, wishing they had a fraction of the attention he's getting. And that's where social media really amplifies things.
It does.
Because now it's not just about what happens on the court.
Yeah.
It's about who has the most followers, who gets the most likes. And in that arena, Harms is winning, at least for now.
Yeah, he's playing a different game.
He is.
And he's playing it well. But is it sustainable? Can he keep this up if his actual game doesn't improve? Or will the haters eventually win?
Bawat bitaw matikwasak, Mr. Longban. Alam mo nang laro'y matikas, hindi ka uubra sa Steph Curry ng Pinas. Mr.
And remember, listeners, this is just the beginning of the conversation.
Yes.
Head over to our social media and let us know your thoughts on Harms Hu.
Yeah.
His game, his impact on the sport, is he the future of Philippine basketball?
What do you think?
Or just a fleeting viral sensation? We want to hear from you.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Depensa ay sanay, mentalidad ng playing coach. Pare kanya ng gamay, kayang-kaya na basahin ang diskarte ng kalaban. Babasagin na namang klase pa ng tactics ang iharang. Siya ang gurong magtuturo.